Hello, chemistry students. This is going to be our chemistry Canvas tutorial. So most of you are probably familiar with Canvas. If you're new to our district, you might not have seen it before. This is our online classroom, basically, and we use it a lot in chemistry. And everybody organizes their chemistry or their Canvas a little bit different. So we're going to show you how ours is organized so that you know how things are submitted, what you can find in our Canvas course, and you don't miss out on anything that's important for our class. So our first thing is when you get to your Canvas course, it's going to look something like this. My student view is a little bit different than what you'll see, but you're going to see over here, you'll always have this navigation bar that'll have several options. Right now, mine only shows home and modules, but eventually it might show things like announcements. And then you'll have modules in the middle. And so I'm going to just kind of minimize these. So right now I only see two modules, course resources and our first week. And then we'll have maybe this over here. Now, if you click modules, the only difference between the home page and the modules page is that right navigation bar goes away. I don't really use that right navigation bar, so you won't need to see any of this. I don't really use those features. So what we have here, modules are a way of organizing a course. And the way that we use them in chemistry is by week. We'll have this course resources module, and that will always be here at the top. It has our syllabus, it has our virtual textbook, which has all of our textbook chapters scanned in as PDFs here for you to use. That way, if you have your textbook at home and you're on a bus going to a trip or something, or if you have you're at school and you forgot your textbook at home, then you can use these chapters to help you complete those book assignments. We also, in our course resources module, have our notes packets. We will be giving you your notes packets, but they are pretty hefty. And if you lose one, we're going to ask you that you go to this link here and you print them either one chapter at a time or one section at a time as needed. The Plains and Periodic Table, a very useful tool. You'll get to have this on every test. And so if you ever need it at home and you don't have it, you can click right here. And then this useful tools and videos page has all kinds of useful links in it. You can check that out anytime that you want to see what we have for you. But after the course resources module, we'll have a module for each week. And the most recent week will be at the top as we go through this. So right now it's our only week. This is last year's dates, but you'll get the gist here. You can see every week we're going to have a checklist at the top. And when you open that checklist, it will spell out for you what we're going to be doing on each day of the week. Again, this might look differently for you, depending on what year you're watching this video compared to what year I made it, but there will always be a checklist. Now, you're supposed to view that checklist, and once you have viewed it, you'll get this little green check mark next to it to say that you have viewed it. That's not worth a grade, but that's what these little bubbles over here are for. They kind of show you when you've completed what I want you to do with each piece. The Chemistry Canvas tutorial is what we're working on right now. When you click on this, you can see a video loading. That's the video that you're watching right now. It's going to look a little different than what this is. But you can see a due date. Again, these get updated every year. You can see how many points it's worth, and you can see how it's supposed to be submitted. In this case, either a text entry box or a file upload. So how do you submit assignments in this class? Well, when you click Start Assignment, it will open up several options for you. So a file upload, you can browse your computer and choose a file. So if you're typing it into a Word document or a Google Doc and you want to just download that, upload it, you can do that. You can connect it to your Google Drive or your Office 365. I've never used any of those features. Or you can just click this text entry box and you can type your answers right into this text entry box. And then when you're done, I'm just going to write done, and then I'm going to click submit. It'll give you a little celebration that you've submitted your assignment. And you'll see here that I'm late because I did it right now. And I haven't updated those dates yet. So I'm a year late on this assignment. But you can still see that you've submitted it here. And if you click this, you can go in and you can do some submission details. Now, real quick, if you are submitting something late and you have had an absence or something, you can do your text entry, you write all your answers in here. Then there's this box right here. This is going to be really important if you submit something late. You need to say late because I was on a sports trip. or I was sick, or I had a family emergency, or whatever it is. Then when you submit, oh, I have to write something up here. Okay. When you submit, that comment will show up for your teacher, and your late penalty will not be assessed the same way that it would if you just submit something late. So that kind of brings us to our next question. What happened, or when are assignments due if I want full credit? By this due date. Okay, it's going to be usually 8 a.m. of the next class period day is going to be our due date. So from a Monday, it'll be 8 a.m. Tuesday is the due date. If it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it'll be 8 a.m. Thursday as the due date. If it's a Friday, it'll be 8 a.m. Monday as the due date. Sometimes it's a little further out than that, but most of the time that's when it's going to be. But just check that due date. If you submit by your due date, you get full credit. It's pretty simple. If you submit late, that brings us to our next question. Homework assignments are going to be a 50% deduction for being late. Okay, so that's a pretty big deal. Now, homework is a small category of our grade, which means it's pretty forgiving to have a 50% late deduction, and you'll still be okay in the class. You don't want to be late with your labs. Labs are worth a much larger portion of your grade, but they also have a less severe late penalty. It's 10% per day for a lab. So please get things done on time, but it is absolutely worth it to turn in things late because you still get some points. Always. You always get points turning things in late. And that points is better than no points. So you're going to have an improvement on your grade by submitting things late versus not submitting them at all. Okay. One more type of submission. We can't do it in the Canvas tutorial, but I'm going to show you one other type of submission real quick because some people like to use this one. So for personal profile assignment, for example, there is a different option that wasn't available, and that's this media tab. So media tabs are very useful if you have something on paper and you want to get it into the computer and you don't have a way to like take a picture because we're not supposed to use our cell phones. So you click this media tab and then you hit this record or upload media. And the first time you do this, you have to allow it to use your camera. But after that, it should just let you do this. But when you open this up and it loads, you're going to see it can hear me because this green bar at the bottom. And you can do a video. Let's see, webcam. Not sure why it's not showing my video, but it usually works. You can see a video and you can just kind of hold your sheet up to the video camera and kind of scan it up so that we can see it. And that way we can read your assignment. You can just get it from paper into Canvas and submit it that way. So there is that option as well. Finally, what settings do you need to adjust in order to not miss out on important information? So our last piece here, this is not specific to our chemistry course. So it is beyond this part of the screen. It is over here. You're going to see account. You're going to click account. Now mine is fake because I'm logged in as a student, so I'm not going to see as much as you can see here, but this is the key right here, notifications. When I click this, it's not going to work, but when you click it, you're going to see a list of a ton of things. And I think the default is set to on every single notification, which means that you're going to get a little email and a little ding every time an assignment is posted, every time an assignment is graded, every time a comment is posted, every time an announcement is made. All of these things, every single time they happen, you're going to get an email. You're going to get a little notification. And that's going to make you ignore everything because you're going to get so many notifications. It's going to annoy you and you're just going to ignore them always. What you need to do is turn those all off except for whatever you feel like is most important. Or you can turn them to weekly or daily, where you only get one notification per day or one notification per week that shows you all the things that have been graded or all of the comments that have been made. But I think the only one that should be on as always is announcements, but maybe even that one could just be daily. But turn those things off, turn them to a lower frequency. That way, when you do get an announcement, you pay attention to it and you don't miss something that's really important. So those are my suggestions. Take it or leave it. But that's how our Canvas course works. And we hope that makes sense to you. And we hope you can submit this assignment right now. Thanks.